But that kind of slide move is very, very dangerous, and obviously didn't work out for well for him. Anyway, it looks like we're gonna have Bong coming out for CJ, and says, "Oh yeah, Bong, the future GSL champion, who will name himself T." And he is, I mean, he's 100%, guys. This kid is 100% win rate in Pro League. He has won a StarCraft 2 match. It is amazing. And he's going to be playing against Sun from SKT. Okay, so SKT leading out with two of their top Protoss players. It'd be interesting if Bisu came out as well. It'd be quite amusing. But unfortunately, what that does mean for us is that it's another PvP here. But I mean, when you tune into Pro League, you should not expect anything less but the highest quality mirror matchups. Actually, no, I shouldn't say highest quality. I think the word I'm looking for is highest volume of mirror matchups. I think that more aptly describes the situation here. At least it's not StarCraft 2 PvP, right? We should. Oh shit! I forgot to put myself on the event. Harm, did you do that? I bet Harm did it. Oh yeah, Harwin did it for me. Kate Beckinsale, my #1 fan. That's right, guys. If you didn't actually know, Harem is actually Kate Beckinsale. So you guys should say hi to her. That is Harm Taro in the Twitch chat. What would I do with that Harm? I don't know. I'd be relegated to non-event status. Anyway, going to map number 2, looks like it's gonna be Jade. Bong versus Rain, aka Sun. I'm actually tempted to start calling them. Actually, you know, I'm actually gonna start using their actual IDs, because that's what like all the StarCraft 2 people know them as now, since they started playing in WCS. So just to avoid too much confusion, I'm gonna start calling them by their proper names. Yeah. Anyway. Alright, cool. Cool. So Rain is red and Bong is brown. That sounds weird. Rain is red. Isn't that like one of those things that Moses did to the Pharaoh or whatever? It's like one of the punishment things. You know, like he turned his staff into a snake and then he like made it rain blood or something. It's something like that. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure. You can clearly see I'm up to date on my Bible study. Yeah. Anyway, what am I looking at? Okay, looks like we have a Gateway Scout coming out for Rain. And nothing out of the ordinary coming out yet for Bong. Quite curious to see what he does do here in Brood War, because presumably he's one of those guys that was a second string player on his team, and so he kind of started practicing StarCraft 2 a little bit before the A-teamers did, and then it turns out that he's actually pretty good at StarCraft 2, so now they're trying to mix him in to get him to play some StarCraft 2 matches, and obviously he's already won his match. But that means he also has to play Brood War, because there is of course the rule in Hybrid Pro League where you cannot play the same game 2 matches in a row. So if you play StarCraft 2 match, in one match, then the next match that you play has to be in Brood War, and vice versa. So I don't know. I mean, this has led to some questionably. Actually, no. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. This has led to some god-awful games in both Brood War and SC2, because of course some of the top-level Brood War players haven't really taken kindly to StarCraft 2, Bisu. So, oh man, sorry, had something stuck in my throat there. So yeah, at least there's some very strange things. Anyway, the pro guy gonna come in here now for Sun. Sun did do the cross map scout first and then come in here. Lucky that his opponent didn't spawn in the top right. And he's gonna see that his opponent skipped Zealot. His opponent went for Dragoon first. And what's he trying to do here? Is he trying to Manor Pylon? I think he's trying to Manor Pylon here, just like we saw last game, where Best Manor Pylon Snow, having seen Snow not go for Zell at first. Sun trying to do the same. But unfortunately, too many probes already out blocking and also manually controlling that. Oh, look at this! Look at this. We have a Citadel. We have a DT rush coming out from Sun. That's very interesting. Last season in Pro League, actually, we saw a lot of DT rushes from Best in this matchup, which was quite amusing. He did a number of proxy or hidden DT tech things on this map, I think. And Stork, in fact, it got to the point where Stork actually ended up DT rushing someone in PvP. And in the winners interview, they were like, Stork, you don't usually DT rush. Why did you decide to do it this time? You know, because Stork is known for amazing Reaver control, so usually, you know, he just goes for Reavers in PvP. And Stork was just like, well, you know, you're right, I usually don't do it, but I saw that Best has been doing it a lot in PvPs, and he's been winning all his games, so I thought I'd try it too. And I was like, oh, Stork, you silly goose. Anyway, so we have a 2-gate robo here from Bong, so this is actually very interesting. You know, if you had told me the players but not which one was which, I would have assumed that Bong was red and Sun was brown, because the brown Protoss, who is in fact Bong, is playing a much more standard safe build here, going for the 2-gate robo, presumably with Observer, into expand here, just like what we saw both players do last game. Whereas Sun is going for the little bit more cheesy, little bit more risky opening of a DT expand, basically. Did he just let a probe in his face? No, okay, looks like he got it. But yeah, so essentially this is not an all-in at all by Sun, so I know a lot of players see DT Rush and immediately say, oh my god, you know, he's such a cheeser, dirty cheeser, and I completely agree. No. This is actually a 1-gate DT expand, so essentially he's just going for, well, obviously one gateway, a very quick nexus, and he's going to defend this basically by making a couple of DTs, kind of giving him map control, keeping the opponent back in his base at least until he has at least a couple of obs out. And then that would let him get up this expansion safely, and also get up cannons and High Templar at the front. So basically what he's going to do is he's only going to make 1 or 2 Dark Templars, and then he's immediately going to go for High Templars and Psionic Storm. And he's going to use Storm and cannons to defend himself against any potential Dragoon counterattack here. But it's quite interesting actually to see the fact that the Nexus of Bong isn't even that much, or rather, I think it was slightly faster, wasn't it, than Sun's Nexus? I think it was slightly faster. Usually the guy who goes 1-gate DT expand gets the faster Nexus. But Bong here, I mean, he took a bit of a risk, and oh, he's immediately seeing the Dark Templar here, pulling his Dragoons back ever so slightly just to block that ramp, and yeah, look at this, Sun gonna get completely warded away here, so bit of a lucky timing there for Bong. Everett is giggling, he's like, lol, I can't believe Bong might actually beat Sun. Sun, of course, is a very seasoned Brood War player. Last season he was one of the big 3 Protoss that SKT used to bash their opponents. Bisu, Sun, and Best. And that was quite amusing though. Oh, Effort, by the way, doing quite well in WCS. I think he recently beat Gumiho, right? Yeah, he beat Gumiho. Man. And oh my goodness, look at this. An extremely fast 3rd Nexus from Bong. Wow, this is actually a very smart move here. Because he knows that when you go for a 1-gate DT expand, you're going to be super defensive at this point in the game. So you move out with just your first DT, and you know, if you see an obs, you're like, okay, not going to make any more DTs, just going to make High Templar and Dragoons, and just going to turtle up a little bit here. And Bong is like, well, I guess I can just expand, and look at this, there's absolutely no opportunity, no way for Best to punish this. And this is really smart. This is actually really smart. You know, I know a lot of people actually have difficulty playing against DT openers, just like, you know, on ladder and stuff. I remember I used to have a lot of trouble playing against like DT expand openers in this matchup. I thought they were horrendously imbalanced. But like, I didn't go DT myself because, you know, I'm not a dirty cheeser. So I was just like, I hate Protoss who open DTs. Yeah, because the thing is, if you don't do this fast forward base, right? You know, what are you gonna do? You go for Reavers, but the thing is, there's no real timing. There's like a very narrow window that you might be able to hit with the Dragoon counterattack timing, but usually if the DTing player is good, they won't really give you any opportunity to counterattack. If you're trying to counterattack with Reavers, they'll have Storm ready, and you know, Storm on the defensive in this kind of like the choke points of the naturals is so strong. Nice little snipes there on some probes by that DT actually. Nice little catch there, and that one DT is still chilling behind the third. Just waiting for an opportunity there. That DT could actually be huge here. If Bong moves out with his army and isn't paying attention, that DT could just walk into the mineral line and kill every single probe of the third. But for the moment, it's looking a little bit questionable for Sun here. Looks like he's going to go send his Dragoons down and apply some pressure, but I don't think he really can do too much here. He's going to try and run up the ramp here. It looks like it will work, but Bong should be moving some more units down here. Yeah, it looks like he's got a few more Dragoons coming down. The probe's actually being pulled here unnecessarily. Yeah, he's gonna force his Dragoons back. So nice little move by Sun there. Just gets a couple of free Dragoon kills, and meanwhile is massing up these High Templars. Sun is showing no attempts to expand, even though he certainly could. So I think he's just gonna go for a big 2-base all-in timing, using those High Templars with their Storm. Perhaps getting, sorry, not charge, Jesus, getting speed as well for his Zealots. Of course, speed lots are one of the best reinforcing units, because you know, they build fairly quickly, they run super fast, so you can just rally all your gateways to the front and just spam speed loss. And it looks like the DT actually just goes into the third here without actually waiting. Meanwhile, a shuttle actually going around the natural. I think he's going to storm drop, in fact. Okay, never mind, he's not going for a timing here. He actually has sent a probe down to his third and is going to expand to his third base while going for a storm drop. Oh my god, Bong is not paying attention. Storm! Yeah! Storm! Oh god, that's glorious. Does he have one more? He can actually storm the club. He can storm the club! Oh! 13 kills on the High Templar. He's going to go into the main base as well. He's got at least one more storm. Storm! Yeah! Shibao! And there's a Dark Archon that is just completely fucking useless. Oh my god. Well, I guess your fast third base does jack shit now because you got no probes, man. You've got no probes, Mr. Bong. Oh god, how is your eco, bro? And there is the follow-up attack. Very nice. He knows he now has a great window of opportunity to go at least take down this third base of Bong. Bong has got his own speed lots up. And actually, Sun doesn't, but he's got those Templars. Those are going to be the crucial factor here in this engagement. He's going to be a little bit careful with his High Templar, not let them just charge up there. And here we go, Storm on the army time. Storm! Oh, nice little Storm there. He's got one more. Yeah, very well done. The Dark Archon comes in for feedback, but the Templars already used their energy. As you can see, he just did a feedback on that High Templar, but he already used his Storm, so it didn't even have enough energy to die. But it looks like with the help of those probes, maybe can hold on here. Another Storm going down, but perhaps will force his opponent back. For those of you StarCraft 2 players who don't know what the hell's going on, the Dark Archon is a unit that you get by combining 2 Dark Templars. That's right, you don't get regular Archons in Brood War, you get Dark Archons if you make 2 Dark Templar morph. And the Dark Archon is what has the feedback ability, actually. High Templars don't have feedback. So he got the Dark Archon just to feed back his opponent's High Templars, because he knew that some would have a lot of high energy Templars, so he could get a few Templar snipes perhaps with that Dark Archon. But unfortunately for him, didn't really get the opportunity there. So yeah, that's a little bit awkward for him. But I mean, Sun did use 4 of his High Templar now, 2 in that drop and 2 in the attack. So he's only got 2 High Templar with his main army, and he's facing some Archons from Bong, which is really going to put the hurt on. The Archons really just ridiculously good units in this composition here. They will murder these Zealots, which are all getting clumped up here. Nice feedback there. This time he gets the kill. 1 kill on the Dark Archon, a Storm on those Zealots of Bong, but I do not think Sun can engage here. Yeah, those Archons just doing massive damage. When your opponent has a couple Archons and you don't have any, that you just should most likely not be attacking in that position. They just take down Zealots so quickly with all that splash and that really high damage and the high HP. They're just amazing units all around. So Bong has held this off, but I mean, I think he's still in a bit of trouble here. Let's take a quick look at the supplies. Yeah, he's still 20 supply, or actually not 20 supply, he's only 10 supply behind actually. He's at 87 now against 95-ish, so actually really catching up here. Of course, because his third base was a lot quicker than Sun's, so he did lose a lot of probes, but that was, at that point Sun was actually behind, so he was just kind of catching up a little bit. I mean, it still put him in a good position, but not as good as you might think here. And of course, Sun did also do a couple of not so successful attacks there. So Bong is definitely not out of it just yet, but he's going to have to pull off some fancy moves here if he wants to come back. The nice thing for him actually, okay, if you look at the minimap, there's an observer of Sun's in between Sun's natural and Bong's third, because obviously, you know, those bases are very, very close together. And since Sun's natural minerals face Bong's base, it's very easy for Bong to go send a shuttle over and counter Storm Drop at Sun's natural. So Sun just leaving an observer there in the way to spot for that. But actually, no, he just did move the observer away, which is a little bit curious to me, that he doesn't want that early spotting. I guess maybe he's just confident enough in his own reaction time to just pull his probes as soon as he sees the shuttle coming in here. But that's a little bit risky, especially considering good Protoss players will generally do some kind of little poke attack while they're dropping. So they'll send in a few Zealots to just go harass you, and while you're looking at that, then they drop your natural and you're not paying attention. I think that's what Sun actually intended to do earlier on with that Storm Drop. And ooh, nice feedback, getting 2 more High Templar, very well done. He's going to lose the Dark Archon, but that Dark Archon had 3 High Templar kills, so I think that was probably worth it for the DA. Of course, the Dark Archon is still very expensive, so you have to get a few High Templar kills really to make it worth it, but a big army now coming in for Sun. Once again, though, the Archon advantage going to Bong. He also now has the high ground advantage, so the goons of Sun not going to do as much. Great storm by Sun, though. Very, very difficult to storm your opponent's Zealots without hitting your own. Meanwhile, Sun also sending in some Zealots to the third base. I think this attack actually is going to finish off Bong. Bong now dropping the 70 supply against the 140 supply of Sun. It looks like Sun is going to even up the score here, 1-1. Yep, just waltzing into the natural here, even though Bong had position there at the high ground, had those Archons, it's not going to be enough. He's going to lose his third base, he's going to lose his natural, he's going to lose everything. He's down 100 supply now. And Sun takes the game. Guys, start praying now. Do not give us another mirror matchup, please. Please. GG! And Sun takes